अगाध संशयाम्बोधि समुतरनतारणिं वन्दे विचित्र्यर्थपदां चित्रां तां गुरुभारतीम् सदा सदा अनुग्रह निग्रह गृहीतमुनि विग्रहो भगवान् सर्वासामुपनिषदां दुर्वासा जयति देशिकः प्रथमः त्र्यम्बका विहित संतति ताम्रपरणीर षण्माप्तिक प्रकार कांति विशेष भाजः पूर्वे जयन्ति गुरुवो गुरु शास्त्र सिंधु कललोल केली कलनामल कर्णधाराः जयति गुरुरेक एव श्री श्रीकण्ठो भुवि प्रथितः तत्परमूर्तिर्भगवान् महेश्वरो भूतिराजश्च श्री सोमानंद बोध श्रीमत उत्पल विनिहश्रिताः जयन्ति संविदा आमोद संदर्भा दिक्प्रसर्पिणः तद आस्वाद भरावेश ब्रह्महितां मति षट्पदीं गुरुर्लक्ष्मण गुप्तस्य नाद सम्मोहिनीं नुमः सदा अभिनवगुप्तं यत् पुराणं च प्रसीदमता हृदयं तत्परो उल्लासयः स्वयम् आस्फुरजे अनुत्तरम् अभिनवरूपा शक्तिः तद्गुप्तो यो महेश्वरो देवः तद उभयामलरूपम् अभिनवगुप्तं शिवं वन्दे यः पूर्णानन्दविश्रान्त सर्वशास्त्रार्थपारगः श्रीक्षेमराजः सो दृश्यादृष्टं मे गुरुरुतमः श्री वसुगुप्त महागुरु सोमानंद प्रभु उत्पलाचार्यन् अभिनवगुप्तं नाथं वन्दे श्रीक्षेमराजश्च नमो निखिल मालिन्य विलास पनपटियसे महामहेश्वराय श्रीरामाय गुरुरमूर्तये नमः कारुण्यदेहाय वीराय शुभदन्तिने भक्तिगम्याय भक्तानां दुःखहर्त्रे ते नमस्तुते यस्य उन्मेषनिमेषाभ्यां जगतः प्रलयोदयोः तं शक्तिचक्रविभं प्रभवं शङ्करमस्तुमः नमः शिवाय सततं पञ्चकृत्यविधायिने चिदानन्दघन स्वात्म परमार्थ अवभासिने आस्यानं चित्रस्योगं साकारत्वमुपागतं जगद्रूपतया वन्दे प्रत्यक्षं भैरवं वपुः ओमानंद सुंदर पुरंदर मुक्तमाल्यं मौलोहटेन निहितं महिषासुरस्य पादाम्बुजं भवतु मे विजयाय मज्जु Majjiri Sinchit Manoharam Ambikaya Sahasirsa Pursa Punatu Vaha Sahasrachur Bhagavan Sahasrapata Gale Angi Grina Mule Naine Cha Nischala Trayo Apayami Yamapursa Upasate Om Sanno Mitra Sanvaruna Sanno Bhavate Haryama Sanno Indro Brihaspatiha Sanno Vishnu Rukramaha Namo Brahmne Namaste Vayu Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Asi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadisami Ritam Vadisami Satyam Vadisami Tanma Avatu Tatvakaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Santi 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 Jai Gurudev Har Har Mahadev. So we will continue with our memorial studies. We are doing this memorial studies in the memory of our beloved Gurudev, and currently we are just witnessing how Gurudev is doing, prescribing, setting out the outline of this one of the greatest book he has produced. So we are just passing through this preface only at present. So in the last class, in the last lecture, we have just going through witnessing how Guruji is holding our hand and going through one by one the siblings of Trika, the Kasmir Shavism, Shav Siddhanta, then the Veer Saiva, then he touch upon the Pasupatas. Now we are in the preface up to here. He is shedding some light very briefly on the Kasmir Shavism, the real subject today. So let's start from here. The Trika, Kasmir Shavism, in preface, how he is just indicating the indication. So in Trika system, he has just starting with the concept of Param Shiva. The concept of Param Shiva here in Trika doctrine is not a deity among deities alone, not merely theistic Lord in this system, but he is the Paramashiva is a absolute consciousness, chitta, self-luminous, prakas, and self-reflective, vimarsa. And it is very much clear from the very beginning the concept of Brahman in Advait Vedanta. So in Kashmir Shaivism, our Shiva differs from the concept of Par Brahma in Advait Vedanta. In Advait Vedanta, Brahma is Par Brahma is inert, but here Paramashiva is dynamic. He is proposing Paramashiva like a giving him absolute freedom. That's why this system is called Swatantra Bad also. So he's both, Paramashiva is both transcendent and immanent. And in this system also, world is not a illusion. World is not illusion. It is a manifestation, it is the avhas of Paramashiva. And very briefly, he's just going through this Aspanda Siddhant, vibratory dynamism. Aspanda, the meaning of Aspanda is subtle vibration, the creative pulsation So really, reality is the, the nature of reality. So reality is not a static being, it is living dynamic awareness. So Aspanda reconciles unity and multiplicity, and it explains this Aspanda doctrine. It explains how absolute remains one yet manifests many without losing unity. So this is the genius of Kashmir Shaivism. Then going to the Prativigya Darshan, Prativigya, the recognition philosophy. Prativigya, the meaning of Prativigya itself is recognition. So liberation is not here, attainment of something new. This is not liberation. This is not the concept of liberation here. Here the recognition one's identity with Shiva, that is the Prativigya. So this solves the major philosophical problems through this philosophy, recognition philosophy, because it is bringing up, it is solving the problem of the continuity of self, a smriti, the memory, and the identity and agency. Utpal Dev argues recognition proves enduring consciousness, and this directly criticizes Buddhist Chanikabad, Buddhist momentariness. Now, touching the call. So, call emphasizes embodied non duality. Embodied non duality. So, body is not obstacle and world is not rejected here. Kaula affirms integration of spiritual and material, often ritualized, experiential, and the initiatory. So the Kaula system radicalize non-duality into lived practice. Then Gurudev is touching the Krama, Krama system. So Kram emphasizes sequential unfolding of consciousness. So the step-by expansion of the awareness is here. So it is often associated with the goddess worship and time consciousness, progressive realization. Here the sequential, so progressive realization is here. So Kram integrates metaphysics, meditation, and the cosmic temporality. So why Trika? So Trika means the triad system. So there are multiple triad, Guruji indicating, like Shiv Sakti Nar, this is the triad. Iksha Gyan Kriya Sakti, this is the triad. Para, and Apara is a triad. Even he is emphasizing on the three tantras also, Malini, Bamak, and Siddha. That is the triad also, most influential tantra in our system. So triadic structure expresses dynamic unity, so the multiplicity within oneness. Now Trika solves central metaphysical tension. That is the beauty of Trika system. So how can the infinite appear finite? The infinite, the Param just descending down. So Anuttar become Anu. So how it is happening? The answer is here through the self-contraction, Sankoch, and bondage. The definition of bondage is also very beautifully, this theory is also coming in. So this is the self-imposed limitations, and grace is the self-recognition. Thus, no external duality remains. This is the beautiful philosophy, the beautiful metaphysical structure we can feel here in Trika. So if I do the comparison with the Sav Siddhanta and the Trika here, in Sav Siddhanta, soul is distinct. The Shiva and soul, two distinct things. And here in Trika, soul is identical with the Shiva. Bondage is real in Sav Siddhanta, it's a real. And here in Trika, bondage is contraction. It is a concealing power from Shiva that is creating that one. And the grace is external in Shiva Siddhanta, but here the grace is internal, nothing outside in Trika system. Shiva Siddhanta is a theistic dualism, and Trika is a dynamic non-dualism. So this shows the culmination, the top, where the Trika is standing. So Trika integrates Vedic non-duality, Tantric ritual, Buddhist epistemology, and the Sankhya structure. So we can say Trika is synthetic. Trika is synthetic summit, and Avinav Gupta, Mahamaheswaracharya Avinav Gupta, Tantra Lok becomes encyclopedia of systemization. That is the greatest, you know, creation, the encyclopedia. So I conclude here with this thought. In Trika system, Shiva is not merely worshipped, not merely conceived, but recognizes as one's own deepest identity. And Kasmir Shavism thus represents the full philosophical flowering of the Saiva tradition, where metaphysics, rituals, devotion, and consciousness converge into a single non-dual vision. So this is this is a climax. This is a climax, doctrinal climax, we can say here. Now come one by one. Aspanda, we have just gone through very briefly. Guruji took us there. So it's not merely vibration. The basic definition is coming. It does not mean the physical movement. Also, we should be careful. It refers as a subtle pulsation, inner throb of awareness, and the creative dynamism. Consciousness in motion, that's the spanda. Consciousness in motion without ceasing to be consciousness. So, what are the problem this Aspanda philosophy, Aspanda doctrine solves? So, if the reality is one, non-dual, absolute, then how multiplicity arise? That is the philosophical question. Advait Vedanta is coming to give answer. Maya. The answer is Maya. Advait Vedanta is saying. But in our tradition, Kasmir Shavism is giving answer, and answer is a spanda. Then the absolute is not static. It is inherently dynamic. So in this way, it is solving one of the most crucial philosophical question. Now the Prakash and Vimarsa, the Aspanda operates through two aspects. Prakash, the pure luminous, and the Vimarsa, the self-reflective awareness. So without Vimarsa, consciousness would be inert. So with Vimarsa, consciousness becomes self-aware, creative. Thus the universe is Shiva. Universe is Shiva's self-recognition in pulsation. Guruji always picking up, the slok from Saundarya Lahari, the first one, Shiv Sakti Yukto Yadi, that one. So if Shakti is not with the Shiv, then Shiv becomes Sab. The same, the same feeling is coming here. So in Aspanda Karika, the foundational text that is, putting forward this Span theory. So that is attributed to, Vasugupta or Kallat. But Kallat Bhatt was a student of Mahaguru Vasugupta. Some scholars are saying this is articulated by Vasugupta and Kallat but documented, and someone is saying Kallat but documented by himself. But that is not a question. That is coming from Guru Parampara, this Aspanda Karika. So this Aspanda Karika teaches us the essence of all experience is subtle vibration of consciousness. So even in stillness, Aspanda persists. In deep sleep, Susupti, Aspanda remain as potential awareness. So the Aspanda is ontological principle, and that is, indicating, taking us towards the dynamic non-dualism. So unlike static monism, Aspanda allows activity, without duality. It allows multiplicity without fragmentation. It allows freedom without division. So the absolute is living, absolute is expressive, absolute is creative, not blank transcendence. That is the theory, postulated by the Aspanda doctrine. So the Aspanda and the human experience, so Aspanda manifests as desire, the will, ichha, knowledge, gyan, and the action, the kriya. So ichha, gyan, kriya. And there are no external processes. So there are modes of consciousness. They are the modes of consciousness, these Shaktis, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, even though itself is a spand. These are the spand. So the human cognition mirrors cosmic pulsation, that we can conclude. Now, going a little deeper, Guruji just sending probe here in the preface. Aspanda and the Buddhist momentariness, Aspanda versus Buddhist momentariness, Shanikbad, if we can say. So Buddhism says reality is momentary. Aspanda says reality is continuous dynamic pulsation. So the momentariness fragments continuity, and Aspanda preserves continuity within dynamism. So this is a major philosophical distinction between the Buddhism and our system. And Aspanda and liberation, if we try to understand the bondage. So the bondage is contraction of the Aspanda. And liberation is the recognition of the universal pulsation. So when one recognizes all experience is Shiva's vibration, duality collapse at the same time, and it leads directly to Prativigya. So Spanda is central. So why Spanda is central? Aspanda makes Kasmir Shavism metaphysically elegant, philosophically rigorous, and experientially profound. It unites ontology, psychology, and cosmology under one principle. That's why Aspanda is central to the Kasmir Shavism. So Aspanda reveals that the absolute is not a static transcendence, but living dynamism. The universe is not illusion, but the pulsation of the consciousness itself, In this vision, being and becoming are reconciled. One beautiful book Gurudev wrote, Being and Becoming, that one. So now let's come to the other schools within the Kasmir Shaivism. The Pratviga doctrine recognizes. So if Shiva, the philosophy, the philosophical problem, I will just coming up with the philosophical problem here. If Shiva is absolute, infinite, and non-dual, so it's a absolute, it's a infinite, and it's a non-dual, then how does manifestation occurs? That's the basic philosophical problem that is asking for answer. So if the absolute is pure being, how does it express multiplicity? That is the question. And this is the metaphysical tension. So here the Shiv Saktya Yukta Adi Yadi, that is coming Shiv united with the Sakti, then only Shiv is capable to do the manifestation. So it doesn't mean, that's very important to understand, Shiva is incomplete. It means Shiva's very nature includes Shakti. So Shakti is the nature of Shiva, it means. You cannot see two separate entity. So Shiva is not a separate entity, and Shakti is the power of expression of Shiva. Even Kashmir Savagism is defining the Prakash and Vimarsa. So Prakash is pure illumination, being, and the Vimarsa is the self-reflection. That's the awareness of the being. So that's the being. Prakash is the being, and the Vimarsa is the awareness of the being. So without Vimarsa, consciousness would be inert, and Shakti is Vimarsa. So that is indicating same thing. So consciousness is intrinsically self-aware and creative. So Advait Vedanta is coming like that. Brahman is pure, inactive being, and world arises through Maya. Our Shaivism is coming saying Shiva is inherently dynamic and world arises through Shakti. So no need for illusion doctrine. Manifestation is real expression. Shiva is real, so his manifestation is real. So the ontological implications, if we check where Guruji is indicating, so Shiv Shakti are not two principles. They are two aspects of same reality, like fire and heat. He is giving example. Like sun and light, you cannot remove light from sun. You cannot remove heat from fire. So being and the power, being Shiva and the power, the Shakti, is inseparable. That is the ontological implication. So non-duality is preserved with dynamism is explained. And the cosmological implications also we can have that sense in the preface we have. So through Shakti arise Iksha, Gyan, and Kriya. And these are not external attributes. So there are no external agency here. They are intrinsic powers and universe is self-expression of Shiva. Psychological implications, if I check here. So within individual, Shakti appears as thought, as emotion, as perception, as desire. Thus, the human consciousness mirrors the cosmic structure. यथा यथा पिंडे तथा ब्रह्मांडे. So recognition of Shakti within oneness awakening. Here the Aspanda connections also we can sense. So Aspanda is the movement of Shakti. Without Shakti, no vibration. And without vibration, no manifestation. Thus the Shiva Shakti doctrine grounds Aspanda. So why this is philosophically brilliant? That is the question. It is philosophically brilliant. Our system is philosophically brilliant because it solves simultaneously couple of problems: psychological, metaphysical tensions, the problem of change, the problem of causation, the problem of multiplicity, and the problem of divine activity without introducing dualism. This is the masterpiece of the metaphysical thought. I'm concluding with this thought, this one. In the Shiv Shakti doctrine, Kasmir Shaivism reconcile transcendence and emergence, stillness and dynamism, unity and multiplicity. So the absolute is not a silent void, but a luminous, self reflective power whose pulsation is the universe itself. With this beautiful thought, we are just coming in the same going through the doctrine, like the call doctrine, the call, the way of the total integration. That's the goal we have just talked about. That's one where the body is not obstacle, they is divine, and unity of the Shiv Shakti in embodied experience is there, and ritual at the direct and non-dual realization. And in that system, there is no realization of you know in that system there is no rejection of the world. That is there. So that's the call doctrine. The same thing, the Aspanda, that one also, Kramas doctrine also we have just gone through, and Shiv Shakti doctrine, that's one also. Just I have gone through. That's one. And then the Panchakritya, the five cosmic functions. The five cosmic functions of Param Shiva that Gurudev is indicating in the preface itself. However, in the chapters, he will come up and explain in detail. He has touched upon that one in the preface itself. That's why in the memorial studies, I'm also touching up touching upon this Panchakrita. So in Kashmir Shaivism, the universe is not the result of one time act of creation. That is now beautifully articulated by Gurudev. It is the continuous expression of Shiva's freedom, the Swatantra, through the five cosmic functions. He is dynamic. He is continuously acting. The five cosmic functions are continuously going on without any pause. And these are known as Panchakritya. The Panchakritya, they are not mythic episodes, they are ontological processes. They start with the Srishti, manifestation, the first act of Shiva, the creation, the manifestation, Srishti. That is his cosmic function, the first function. So Shiva is not, Srishti is not creation ex nihilo. Gurudev is saying ex nihilo. It means from nothing. From nothing you cannot create something. Very strongly he is putting forward that thought. So it is self manifestation. The universe emerges from Shiva as self expression of the consciousness. Nothing external is created. Manifestation is a expansion, vikas of Shakti. And the important distinction here is this is a emanation without separation. So it is the prasar, it is the expansion, it is the broadcasting. That is the Srishti. in this system. That is the manifestation. This is the first act. And then the second one is sthiti, sustenance, maintenance, sthiti. That is the second cosmic function. So maintenance of manifested order. So once manifestation happened then. But here in Shaivism, it has some different meaning. It means stability within dynamism. It means reality persists because aspanda continues. So continuity of experience, that is the Srishti. Continuity of experience. Then the third cosmic function of Shiva, the great Lord, that is the Sanghar. Sanghar is a dissolution. It's a reabsorption. So he is just absorbing, just taking away. So now Sanghar is not destruction in negative sense here. It is reabsorption of multiplicity into unity. Just as waves subsides into the ocean, the waves are coming out, then going back to the ocean. So nothing annihilated. It returns to the potentiality. That is the potential form of Shiva. Shiva is the potential form. Everything is going back to the potentiality. So it preserves non-duality. Then the fourth act, fourth cosmic function, that's a tirobhav, concealment, wheeling. Vidan also Gurudev is saying. So this is philosophically profound. Tirobhav means self-wheeling, hiding himself. So Shiva conceals his own universal nature. And once he conceals his own universal nature, then it produces individuality, then it produces ignorance, then it produces malas, then it is producing the sansara. So that is the act of Shiva, that is the kritya of Shiva, tirobhav, concealment. So bondage is not imposed. That's beautifully articulated in this philosophy. It is divine self contraction. This is radically different from Paul narrative in the other tradition. And the fifth act is grace, anugrah, revelation. Anugrah, that is the self revelation, the removal of concealment, removal of the kanchukas. So Shiva reveals himself to himself. There is no other than Shiva. So Shiva reveals Shiva. And this is the Prativigya. This is the Prativigya, basically. So the cosmic functions are not external processes here. They occurs within consciousness itself, nothing outside consciousness. If there is no consciousness, there is no prakash, there is no manifestation at all. So let's understand the psychological interpretations. So go in a little deep, where Guruji just dragging us. So these five functions occur in every moment of experience simultaneously. The perception arises srishti, then it stabilizes sthiti, then it fades sanghara, then awareness constructs, that is the tirobha, then insight dawns, that is the anugrah. So the cosmology mirrors psychology. Cosmology mirrors psychology. And the microcosmos reflects macrocosmos. That is very beautifully articulated. Now the philosophical significance, the Panchakritya doctrine, if I say doctrine, Panchakritya doctrine, it explains manifestation without dualism. It explains bondage without external evil. It explains liberation without ontological rupture, and it integrates grace structurally into metaphysics. So, grace is not added later, it is one of the five eternal acts. Grace is not, you know, something external, something outside. This is a this is philosophically elegant. Now try to understand the Shiv Shakti relation. The Shiv Shakti relation. One sec. So let's you know go deeper and try to relate this one. Try to understand the relation to the Shiva Shakti, because here Panchakrita doctrine is talking about the five cosmic functions of Lord Shiva. So understand the Shakti here in the five Kritya doctrine. So the five acts are the expressions of Shakti, because Shakti is the nature of Shiva. So Shiva is the ground and Shakti is the dynamic execution. Thus the being and becoming are unified. So in the doctrine of Panchakritya, Kasmir Shavism presents a universe that is not a fallen realm, nor an illusion, but the rhythmic play of concealment and revelation within the infinite freedom of consciousness itself. That is the beautiful philosophical doctrine. Now the problem, just causation theory, the Kare Karan theory. This one, the problem of causation. Gurudev has indicated that one. Kare Karane Nihitam. So he's giving from the Sankhya this doctrine of pre-existence, Satkaribat, Guruji is mentioning many times. So the effect and cause. So effect lies in the cause. The effect is inherent in the cause. That is the theory basically. So every metaphysical system must answer. How does the universe arise? From nothing, from something external, or from transformation. And Kasmir Savagism adopts Satkaryavad. Satkaryavad, the doctrine that the effect pre-exists in the cause, but very, in a transformative way. Because the meaning of the statement, try to understand the meaning of the statement, Kare Karane Nihitam. Kare Karane Nihitam, the effect is already contained within the cause. So it is not newly produced. So it is revealed actually, not produced. So this rejects the creation out of nothing, the theory of ex nihilo. Nothing cannot produce something. So, relation to the Sankhya, we need to check. Guruji has warned. This idea has a root in Sankhya, no doubt. The effect pre-exists in Prakriti. But the Kasmir Savagism transformed it. instead of unconscious Prakriti, the material Prakriti. The cause is consciousness itself, Shiva. Thus, the universe is the manifestation of the consciousness. Shiva is the Karma. So, the potential manifestation we are trying to understand through the Avas theory. So, the universe exists in the unmanifest state, avyakta, within Param Shiva, and manifestation is unfolding of potential. So, like he's giving example like banyan tree or any tree. So seed, so that seed is the cause. So the trees already lies already in the seed, like babe in the ocean, tree in the seed. So no external material is required. The Siva as the both cause, the two type of cause. He's just giving some, classical philosophy we got a two type of cause. One is the upadan material cause, and second one is nimitkaram, efficient cause. So in Shaivism, Shiva is both upadan karan and nimit karan both. He is the material from which universe is appears, material cause, the intelligence that manifests it. Thus, no duality between the creator and the creation. And now the Abhasvadi coming. So Kasmir Shaivism uses the concept of Abhas, appearance or shining forth. So the universe is the projection within the consciousness, not illusion, from not independent substance, but the illuminous expression. Gurudev, separate chapters are there in this book. So in detail, he will go. Here we are in the preface only, just explaining the preface, just setting out the outline of this big book. Now the difference from the Advaita, time and again he just giving this indication, the difference. Always remember the difference from the Advaita Vedanta, the Sankar Vedanta. In Advaita, world is Maya, ultimately unreal. In Shaivism, world is real manifestation, and the cause does not lose itself in the effect. It remains fully present. So Shiva is not akhandam. It's not going to be loses its nature. Thus, the non-duality is preserved. So, psychological implication. So, this causation theory explains how individuality arises. Individual is contracted expression of the universal consciousness, and liberation is the expansion back into the awareness of the universal ground. So, the philosophical elegance we can sense here. This doctrine avoids dualistic creator, the creation splits, creator and creation is two different, no, not here. And the material spiritual dichotomy, and the ex nihilo creation problem, say avoiding all this metaphysical tension, and offering the ontological continuity, being unfolds as becoming. So I'm closing with this thought today. In Kashmir Shaivism, causation is not production but revelation. The universe is not created from outside consciousness. It is self expression of consciousness already present in the potential within the absolute. So, thank you very much, Jai Gurudev. Um, Even we have not completed the preface yet. So, I'll try to complete this preface one by next week, hopefully. So now, just remembering the Lord, Bhairav. अघोरेभ्योऽथ घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरिभ्यश्च सर्वथा सर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते रुद्ररूपेभ्यः अघोरेभ्योऽथ घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरिभ्यश्च सर्वथा सर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते रुद्ररूपेभ्यः अघोरेभ्योऽथ घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरिभ्यश्च सर्वथा सर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते रुद्ररूपेभ्यः अतः भैरवस्तवः व्याप्तचराचर भावविशेषं चिन्मयमेकमनन्तमनादिं भैरवनाथमनाथ शरण्यं तन्मयचित्ततया हृदय वन्दे तन्मयमेतदशेषमिदानीं भाति मम त्वमनुग्रहसत्या त्वं च महेश सदैव ममात्मा यं मम तेन समस्तम् आत्मनि विश्वगते त्वयि नाथे तेन न संसृतिभीतिकथास्ति शतस्वपि दुर्धर दुःख विमोहान् विद्याय सुकर्म गणेषु चिन्तक मां प्रतिमादृशमेन क्रोध कराल तमा विनिधिः शंकर सेवन चिंतन धीरो भीषण भैरव शक्तिमयोस्मि हितस्मूपो जब भवमय संबि हितारित भूरित मिश्रः मृत्युयमान्तक कर्म पिशाचिर नाथ नमस्तु न जातु बिभेमि प्रोदित सत्य विबोध मरीचि प्रोषित विश्व पदार्थ सतत्व भाव परामृत निर्भर पूरने तो ये हम आत्मनि निर्मिति मेमि मानस गोचर मेति यदैव क्लेश दशातनुताप विधात्री नाथ तदैव मम त्वयि भेद स्तोत्र परामृत वृष्टिरुदेति शंकर सत्यमिदं व्रतदान स्नान तपो भवताप विदारी तापक शास्त्र परामृत चिंता यस्यन्ति चेतसि निर्मिति धारा नृत्यति गायति हृष्यति गाढं संविधियं मम भैरवनाथ त्वां प्रियमाप्य सुदर्शनमेकं दुर्लभमन्यजनैः समज्ञं वसुरूपस्य कृष्णदशाभ्याम् अभिनवगुप्तः अस्तवं करो येन विबुधभर मरुसन्तापं शमयति झटयति जनस्य दयालुः इति भैरवस्तवः जय गुरुदेव थैंक यू very much
Thank you.
thank you जय गुरुदेव
Thank you, Abhishek.
thank you anything to say जय गुरुदेव I'm closing the meeting जय गुरुदेव